Parker.
Hello, and welcome to episode 59 of High and Outside, an irreverent sports ball podcast. I'm Oz, and today I'm joined by my esteemed co-host, MC Commish. Please check us out on social media at AOK Worldwide on Instagram and Twitter. You can find all of our episodes on iTunes and Spotify. Please rate, review, and subscribe on those on your platform of choice. We'd really appreciate to hear from y'all. Also, you can find all of our content on our domain, aokworldwide.com, and our YouTube channel is yt.aokworldwide.com.
Brand new.
Yeah, brand new. Check us out. You can see all of our video casts on that on our YouTube channel as well. And let's jump right into episode 59. I think we're on a short week. Commish and I both
Been busy this week.
busy, so we're kind of off the cuffing this, which sometimes they're the most fun ones.
Off the top.
Well, why don't you get us started with some one-hitters?
Turkish Grand Prix this weekend. Awesome to have a Grand Prix back.
Hell yeah.
Having a Grand Prix on a weekend is better than not having a Grand Prix on a weekend, in my opinion.
Yeah, you want to hear the beautiful thing about that? It's like, not only do we have a Grand Prix this weekend, there's a football game in London this weekend that starts in London, and it starts at 8 o'clock in the morning, or 8:30, so you can watch if you have a multi-screen setup like I do.
Flex.
You can go F1 and then also watch a football. Keep the football game on with no sound and just kind of pay attention to that football game. That's Falcons Jets London. Why do we do this to London?
Right?
Yeah, the Falcons and the Jets. Why do we do this to London? Like, we send them the Jags are basically their home team. Like, good
that
Lord.
Sucks.
Are we really sending Urban Meyer to London this year? Like,
He is. I sent you the picture of the tweet. He is on his way out, man. He will be in USC.
oh well, yeah, of course. I said this a long time ago, and now he's got his own scandal going. So,
oh yeah,
he wasn't even willing to He's got an 0-4 football team that has looked hapless, and instead of taking advantage of the fact that they have a long week, he stays home and doesn't even take the team flight home and stays in Columbus so that he can go out to his own bar and flirt with fucking, God knows what. I mean,
I hadn't heard about that yet.
You haven't heard about any of this? This has been all over everything.
I haven't been paying that much attention.
You have a sports podcast.
Yeah? You just said we were busy this week, but that's epic. Did he think that was... I want to know his thought process.
It came out last Saturday while college football was on. A video surfaced of Urban Meyer at his own bar in Columbus with this younger, very... whatever. I'm not going to...
Slam piece.
I did not say that. But she's basically giving him a little lap dance. And somebody caught it on video. It's definitely not his wife.
Quacks like a duck, sir.
And now he's in hot water down in Jacksonville. The pools have been turned up.
Mm-hmm.
And they're basically hot tubs now.
Yes.
And like I said, he didn't take the team plane home. He's got an 0-4 football team.
He's accepted the job then. He has totally accepted the job.
No, I don't think USC would hire him now.
I disagree.
I don't think that, given what USC is doing right now with the fucking Varsity Blues scandal and all that's on trial and everything else going on, I don't think they would hire Urban Meyer right now. I think before this scandal, yes. I think right now there's way too much out there about Urban Meyer right now. I don't even think he would accept another job. I honestly think he's trying to ride out this Jags job, and then he's going to...
Bobby Petrino still coaches.
I'm not saying that he still coaches, but he still coaches at a D3 school.
Yeah, but it's Urban Meyer, winning cures a lot of ills.
I don't disagree with you. Again, I said that Urban Meyer would be hired by USC a while ago, but scandal in today's day and age also changes a lot of things, especially when you're USC, who's already having a bunch of problems with their boosters, and you're going to hire a guy that is already surrounded in scandal. I don't think so.
I think it's sooner rather than later, to be honest.
I think it's sooner rather than later that he's not a Jags coach. I just don't think USC is going to hire him.
Okay.
And I don't think I honestly think he's about to be put through such a friggin' rigmarole, and he's just gonna get blasted for the next however many weeks because he's such a terrible NFL coach that I think it'll be more or less he doesn't want to go coach right now.
We'll see. I disagree. I think he's gonna get that job pretty damn quick.
Okay. I mean, again, I thought that was the case before this. I just don't think it's the case now. I think it's more or less that Urban Meyer won't want the job than it is that USC won't want him.
We'll see.
Why would Urban Meyer go take that job? Urban Meyer doesn't need money.
Because it's his home state, or is it alma mater?
He has no connection to USC.
I thought he did.
No, he has no connection to USC other than just it's a big coaching job that he can go in and take over and reinvent the program. There's no reason for him to go to USC other than it's Urban Meyer. He'll go higher.
I'm completely wrong. I could swear he had some connection to USC. Okay, that dampens it a little
Eric
bit.
Bieniemy has a connection to USC, which is the one we talked about previously. He's from there. He's from LA. Again, that's why everyone was linking him to that job. But I just don't think he's going to – I just think that this scandal – I'm not saying that this is the worst scandal in the world. I'm not saying that what Urban Meyer did is the worst thing in the world. It's obviously not great to be and honestly, the worst part of what Urban Meyer did is the fact that he has an 0-4 football team and he didn't take the team plane home, and he's clearly shown that he gives no fucks about his players. And this isn't this isn't college where you get to just do whatever the hell you want. Those players expect you to be accountable to them, or they're not going to be accountable to you. He has no credibility with that locker room anymore. Why would he? You're 0-4 and you're not willing to put the work into fly home and actually put the work in Jacksonville. You'd rather go rub some things, rub elbows and maybe some other things in Columbus where you're treated like a god. So it shows a lot about where your actual priorities at, and so that's where I land on that. I don't even know how we got to this point.
I don't know either.
We started talking about F1, and then we got into London and the fact that we're sending
Jags fans. Yeah, there we go, everybody. We
brought it back. Falcons Jets Sunday morning at the same time as the Turkish Grand Prix.
That sucks for them that their team is the Jaguars. Long story long.
Yeah, that's true.
All right, MLB playoffs. Haven't been following this at all.
Well, we've had the 2 wildcard games, which are the last 2 nights. Great. Honestly, I will say playoff baseball is a lot of fun. Especially when you have iconic venues like Tuesday night, Red Sox Yankees at Fenway Park. What's not to like about that? That was a lot of fun. I just enjoyed it. It's baseball. It's a little cold. There's a little chill in the air. I don't know.
Your favorite seasons is fall. So
it was a great
triggers.
Just a great kickoff to the baseball playoffs. And then last night, it was the perfect outcome for everyone. The Dodgers and the Cardinals play in a wild card game. The Dodgers won 106 games this year. They have to play in a 1-game playoff to get in the playoffs, despite winning more games than any other team except the Giants. And they had to play the Cardinals, who've won 18 of 20 games. And it's God, the Dodgers lose this game. But the perfect outcome happened. It was a 1-1 game. Bottom of the 9th, 2-run walk-off home run for the Dodgers. Great game for everybody, and the Cardinals lose. That's what you fucking love to see.
My grandpa, I'm sure, was very pissed off about that.
Some people are, and people have flaws, and those are things that we all just have to accept and we move on from, and that's okay. And I was just very happy that that's the way that game ended. And also the fact that the Dodgers get in the playoffs, I honestly think it would have been really shitty if the Dodgers had the season they have and the team that they have and they don't even make the actual playoffs. That would have sucked. Anyway, that leads us into divisional series, which are actually going. There's a game that's wrapping up as we speak. The Astros look like they're going to beat the White Sox in the first game of that series. On the American League. The second American League game of the day is Red Sox at the Rays. That's tonight, our tonight, your last night. And then on the NL side, it's Braves Brewers, which kicks off tomorrow, Friday. Our tomorrow, your today, in Milwaukee. And then Giants Dodgers, the 2 winningest teams in all of baseball, playing in a 5-game divisional series, kicking off in San Francisco Friday night.
California showdown.
Kickoff at 9:30 Central Time because it's in the West Coast. So if you're looking for there's going to be some more late night content when the Dodgers and the Giants games are going on for you to take in along with all of your football, which leads us into...
Hey, what's the haps?
Meat and potatoes.
It's football
NFL.
season. We have NFL. We have good college. We actually have a decent college week. I'm just going to touch on a couple college games. OU Texas, Red River rivalry this weekend.
Red River
11
shootout.
a.m. OU Texas. OU's ranked 6th in the country. Texas is 21st. OU has looked very beatable the whole season. They've really never looked like a dominant force, even though they're super talented and people think that they could be. Really haven't looked like it. This is a big rivalry game, a game that if they're going to go to the playoffs, they got to have at this point. They don't have the non-conference schedule to lose really at all at this point. So they really need to take care of business against Texas. Looking forward to that one. Horns down. Arkansas Ole Miss. It's a good game, 13-17. That's also at 11 a.m. on Saturday. All these games are early on Saturday for whatever reason. Georgia Auburn. Georgia just looks like a
World beater.
machine. Just yes, like they like we should just stop and let them and Alabama play
And
just call it.
call no play out day.
Call it a day.
Yep.
And then Penn State and Iowa play at 3:00. Iowa's ranked 3rd in the country. Penn State 4th. Like that's a pretty freaking big game. Like
Hell yeah, it is. That's a huge game.
I don't know if like we haven't really decided if Iowa's for real yet. They're ranked 3rd in the country. They beat Iowa State. Iowa State has since not looked very good. They haven't really beaten anybody like that noteworthy other than that game in Ames. And like I said, that game looks less and less impressive as the weeks go by. So this will be a big one. Penn State coming to town. Should be a good game. Good college football. Nebraska. Nebraska looks like they have some life. Like, honestly, they really do actually look like ever since the OU game. I mean, honestly, ever since they lost that game to Illinois, the first game of the year, they've actually looked much better the entire time. They're on a kind of a steady upward tick. The defense looks really good. You know, they're 3-3. They're playing a Michigan team that is undefeated but have looked not awesome their last couple times out. So I'll be interested to see if Nebraska can hang. I think they can. They're at home. They're in Lincoln.
I would
People
like
will be
to-
turned up. It's a night game on ABC. It's on.
Oh yeah, that's gonna be awesome. I want to know how many teams in the Big Ten that like Nebraska hasn't beat.
Like since they joined the Big Ten, you mean?
Yeah. I don't know how we'd find that in a timely manner, but
I'm certain that we could figure that out
Yeah.
via like college football reference.
yeah,
But
we don't have to do it.
We don't
now.
need to do it at the moment. But my guesses would be like Ohio State,
Maybe Michigan.
maybe Michigan. Some of the teams that you also only play every other year or so.
But still, the point. Like, I just wonder.
Yeah, I'm sure there are a few. But it should be a good college weekend. Where the games are starting to mean a little more and mean a little more and mean a little more as the temperatures get colder. The games mean more. And that's the way it goes. So it should be a fun weekend. You add F1 qualifying Saturday morning, game day. Should be a good day.
I got to fix my car tomorrow. I got to finally rip off the bumper, rip off the headlight enclosure, and rewire a new connector. So I don't know how much sports I'm going to be able to watch Saturday morning, unfortunately.
I mean, that sucks. I'm sorry.
It does.
But
According to YouTube, it should take 10 minutes.
there you go. 10 minutes.
I don't think that's going to happen.
Just do it in the break between Q2 and Q3. You can knock that out.
Yeah,
No
exactly.
big deal. Anyway, moving on, meat and potatoes. NFL football this weekend.
I fucking hate fantasy football.
And Commish is having a rough go of it in fantasy, as it seems to be lately. That's the way it's gone the last few years. Actually, a really fun slate this weekend of actual like non-fantasy real NFL
For
games.
the viewers on YouTube, look at the helmets.
Yeah, we have some fun ones starting tonight. Your last night. Rams Seahawks. It's the first good college football or good NFL Thursday night football game. And I just want to call you out, NFL. I know what you're doing. I get it. Like, I see what you're doing. The first 4 weeks of the season, you give us the most garbage Thursday night football games because there's nothing else competing for your eyeballs. And you know that we're like addicted and we're like the Cookie Monster meme with the cookie dough tube on a fucking spoon with a lighter on the toilet. Like, we are that for football. We get it. I know that you know that and you're exploiting us. I get it. But I see what you're doing. There's baseball playoffs tonight. Guess what we get? A really good NFL football game. Rams, Seahawks, divisional game, and the best division in football. All right, yeah. There's a World Cup qualifier, and there's
Jamaica versus USMNT.
yeah. The U.S. have a World Cup qualifier. There's baseball playoffs, and it's like we're still the king. You guys are definitely coming for Rams, Seahawks.
Oh yeah, but they're also golfing again because the off season.
But that doesn't conflict with football at night.
I know, but I'm just saying there's a whole lot of sports going on right now.
Yeah, but I just mean like their competition for eyeballs is a little more this week than it has been the last few weeks.
Yeah,
because of baseball playoffs, and if you look at the actual NFL schedule week by week, it perfectly coincides with when the baseball season ends. We start to get back when the baseball playoffs end. We go back to some shitty Thursday night games. So like we get Rams Seahawks this week on Thursday night. Next week Tampa Philly, which is like not terrible, and then Broncos Browns on Thursday night in week 7, like right at the height of the kickoff of the AL and NLCS. And then Packers Cardinals, like basically probably maybe the first game of the World Series ish. Like that's when Packers Cardinals is. And then we get to week 9, which is basically when the World Series is wrapping up, and it's like Jets Colts. Like seriously?
And you know they had
Jets,
a fucking
Colts,
meeting about
Ravens,
it.
Dolphins. Like it's just like, yeah, we better make sure that these weeks are good. And I'm just telling you, NFL, I see what you're doing. I don't hate it. This is how you stay dominant. I get it.
I mean, it's
smart programming.
Yeah, but you hate to be manipulated.
Yeah. But I am excited for Rams Seahawks tonight. That should be a good game. The Seahawks coming off a big win against the 49ers, and the Rams coming off a bit of a surprising blowout loss to the Cardinals.
Is DK Metcalf playing? Have you heard?
I think so.
He's had a foot or something injury.
Yeah, I think no Chris Carson tonight, which I heard, but I didn't hear. I think Metcalf was active, so he must be playing. Like I said, the Rams looking to bounce back from a kind of a big loss against the Cardinals on a short week going to Seattle. Could be a tough spot for them.
It's a tough as road trip,
Yeah.
After, short week like you said, that's tough. That's tough. Yeah.
It is a tough game for the Rams, honestly. They go Bucks at Cardinals and then have to go to Seattle on a short week. That's a pretty tough little 3-week stretch for them. We'll see how they respond. The Seahawks obviously great at home, but they have not looked like Seahawks teams of old. But again, they also looked good last weekend against the Niners, so we shall see. Beyond that game, a lot of other good games. Recap on last week, Homer Corner. Chiefs take care of business against the Eagles. The Chiefs' offense is operating at an insane efficiency level at the moment. They have the least amount of drives in football, but they have the most points in football. So that kind of tells you how efficient they've been. DVOA, which tracks, offensive efficiency, has the Chiefs as currently like the 10th most efficient offense ever through 4 weeks. So that's not the issue. We just can't stop anybody. Last weekend against the Eagles, we did a decent job of getting in the red zone, like making them kick field goals instead of score touchdowns. And that's honestly
that's a win.
That's what the Chiefs are going to try to do this year, I think. I think they're just going to basically be like, we're going to try and make some big plays. Hopefully we'll get some sacks. Maybe we'll get a pick here or there from Tyron. And then just bend but don't break. Hopefully we hold them to 3s because our offense is going to score 7s.
Right. If it works, it works, right?
Right. And other than, since the turnovers, besides the turnover that Mahomes had in the second half against the Chargers, besides that last fourth quarter interception that he had, I think the Chiefs have scored on scored touchdowns, not field goals. They've scored touchdowns on their last 10 drives. It's kind of insane.
Yeah.
They're playing the Bills this weekend. Big fucking game.
Huge fucking game.
The Bills haven't played anybody yet. They got beat by the now what looked to be really terrible Steelers. And then they blew out the Dolphins when Tua got hurt, and they blew out the Texans with Davis Mills, and they blew out the football team with their first week with Taylor Heineke. So it's a little bit like the Bills look really good offensively. They just haven't played anybody yet, and their defense has had like 2 shutouts already. But again, they've not played anybody near as good as the Chiefs are, especially offensively. Sunday Night Football, Arrowhead, rematch of the AFC Championship game. What's not to like, man? That's good times. Waiting all day for Sunday night. Like,
it's going to be a good game.
It's going to be a good one. We have some other good ones, too. Finishing up Homer Corner.
Broncos. Teddy Roosevelt is moving through concussion protocols. But once he went out in the game, it's like they just stagnated.
Yeah.
And then what could have been an opportunity for Drew Lock was not an opportunity that he seized.
First of all, like, yeah, I mean, I think Drew Lock is just not. I just don't think he's like a starting NFL quarterback. That said, it's really hard to like not take first team reps all week and like not be the starting quarterback all week and go through the game plan and all that stuff and then come in and try to play well against a defense like the Baltimore defense. It's like, so I'm giving him a little bit of like benefit of the doubt there. We'll see how he looks this weekend. The Broncos are going to Pittsburgh. Steeler team that can't seem to score the ball, and I don't think they'll score the ball against the Broncos because the Broncos, the defense, it didn't play awesome against the Ravens, but they played fine. Like, if you had a better offense, it could have been a pretty decent game, I think.
Well, if Teddy never went down, like that was just the whole thing.
That's what I mean. If the offense looked better, maybe it's a better game. I don't know. We won't know, but they shouldn't. The Pittsburgh shouldn't. It's not a get right game for the Pittsburgh offense by any means going against that Broncos defense. I'm more interested in the other side of the ball. Like, can the Broncos move the ball against that Steeler defense? Can they protect Teddy or Locke? If he's not through protocol by tomorrow, I doubt that he'll play this week.
Of course.
But yeah, I mean, that should be. I think it'll be an interesting game to watch, just in the sense that it should be close. I don't think either team is like looking at like a blowout there. And if it is a blowout, especially if Denver blows out Pittsburgh, it's like, what is Pittsburgh doing? Like, at some point, Big Ben's play is it's just really bad.
He's old.
And again, it's nothing personal against Big Ben. It's just, man, he just looks really old.
Yeah, he does. He's just not up to snuff.
He looked terrible last weekend.
He's Roy Kenton it right now.
Yeah.
Sometimes you just gotta, it's old. Like, that's it. I mean, no ifs, ands, or buts about it.
Yeah, I mean, he looked old last year.
Exactly.
They had enough, like, weapons and everything to, like, make a decent season out of it, but his offensive line looks old, too. They've tried to revamp that with some young guys that just haven't really worked out, but all those, like, stalwarts, they're no longer there that were on the offensive line, and the Pittsburgh team just doesn't look that impressive. I mean, other big games from last weekend, obviously, the game of the week that everyone was, ready to tune in for was Patriots-Bucks. Turned into a really close game in the rain. Brady was not very good all night. Ends up winning that game with a field goal. The Patriots try to kick a game-winning field goal from 56 yards in the rain, and it doinks off the left upright. Very loud doink, by the way. If you watch the highlight, it is a very pronounced doink. So Brady gets the best of Belichick, but at the same time, like, Brady also didn't play very well, and he clearly has the better offense and like all the weapons. So I'm not sure that Brady feels great about the way he played, but he won.
Yeah.
The Bucks get the Dolphins this week. They should take care of business. Jacoby Brissett and the Dolphins don't look too feisty with him at quarterback. The other really good game, there's a couple other really good games I just want to touch on that are this coming weekend.
Another pup number 2 apparently. Come and say hi.
Browns Chargers in Los Angeles. That should be a really good game.
Yes.
I mean, the Browns played a weird win ugly game last weekend against the Vikings. Baker did not look good. It's now come out that Baker has a torn labrum in his non-throwing shoulder. That's like making it a little obviously more painful for him to throw the ball. He's still gonna play. It's not gonna affect his ability to play quarterback, but it definitely like puts him in some pain. But he did not play well at all against the Vikings. They win that game though. Now they're going to L.A. to play a very, kind of hyped up Charger team that looks really good. Took care of business against the Raiders on Monday night.
Have beaten the Chiefs.
They beat the Chiefs. The offense looks pretty good. The defense looks a lot like that Rams defense from last year. Not as good of players, but they're playing the same kind of like, we're going to put an umbrella cap on you guys. We're just not going to let you beat us deep, and we're going to keep everything in front of us, and we're going to make a few big plays, and that's what we're going to do. So that's a really fun game to watch. That's a late afternoon game. Should be a great uniform matchup too. I think Browns Chargers, it'll look really nice.
It's going to be an interesting. Yeah, it's a nice. Blending.
I like that game a lot. And then.
Cardinals, San Francisco. To see what Arizona keeps.
Can Arizona keep it rolling? The Niners look gettable at the moment. They look kind of. They're going through the whole injury thing. Is Garoppolo? We don't know if Garoppolo is going to play or not. It might be Trey Lance, which would be fun to watch for that. But that's an interesting game for sure. And then the Bears and the Raiders, like Chicago coming to Las Vegas after the big Justin Fields performance last week against the Lions, who are probably not that very good. And the Lions definitely gifted them a few turnovers when the Lions were in the red zone last week that kind of made that game a little different. But Fields had some really good moments. The Raiders coming off their first loss, is this just going to be another year where we're all in on the Raiders in like September and early October, and then they just kind of fall off a cliff because they're the Raiders. And it's like, okay, well, we all got really hyped up about it because everyone wants the Raiders. Well, not us, but a lot of the national media and national football fans want the Raiders to be good because they're kind of a historic franchise and all that, but they're maybe just not that good. But we don't know. I'm not going to say they're not that good yet because,
Jacobs is coming back from injury. That's a big part of their offense that's coming back.
Yeah, he's a big part. They haven't been able to, no matter who has been playing running back, they haven't ran the ball very well. Even when Jacobs was playing earlier, he wasn't running the ball very well. He had a game with a couple of touchdowns, but they were both just like goal line handoffs. So we'll see. I think the biggest thing is just against the Chargers, they just couldn't get anything. They couldn't get the ball moving early, and then once they finally did, they had dug themselves too big of a hole. So that's why I don't know if I'm not willing to write them off yet because I think they could still be good because I think the Chargers are good. And so I don't want to put too much onto that performance, but we'll see. Like I said, this Bears team, if the Raiders are good, they should beat this Bears team pretty easily because I don't think the Bears team is very good. The offensive line is terrible. Max Crosby and Yannick Ngakoue should eat for the Raiders this weekend. Should have plenty of opportunities to sack Justin Fields, but, still the Raiders. We'll see. That's all I'm saying. Those are kind of the big matchups of the weekend. Really looking forward to it. It's another, as you said, it's just like I get to Thursday and I'm like, oh, there's football. That's awesome. Very excited about that.
Yes.
So,
you have anybody going tonight?
I do not. Yeah. And neither does who I'm playing. No, wait, I do. I don't, but the guy I'm playing has Robert Woods, so.
Swear to God, if he does good. Anyway.
Well, you're playing.
Tyler Lockett.
Well, yeah, but you also are playing Mr. Ram himself that has Stafford and Cup. So, you're rooting for a low-scoring game here, my guy.
Yes, I am. Yes, I am.
But anyway, that's about it for NFL football this week. About wraps all of our sports talk. Commish, anything fun you've been watching or listening to?
I've been listening to Joyner Lucas again this week a little bit. Listened to some Kanye. And then I've been playing more chess than I've played in a while. And then season 6 of Warzone / Call of Duty comes out or just came out. And then Lasso finale is this weekend.
Y'all caught up on Lasso?
I think I'm not quite 2 episodes away.
Yeah. Well, then I'm not going to spoil it because last weekend it's it's a good. It's a good one, but it's also very, very like makes you pissed. So I'm just letting you know. It's gonna be a good finale. I'm excited for the Lasso finale. Also been watching Lasso, watching the new season, Great British Baking. Been watching that. All the football. Like I said, I watched some of the baseball the last couple of days. Yeah, that's basically it.
I watched the Long Drive Championship.
Oh yeah, we didn't talk about that.
We didn't talk about
Bryson
that.
did. Bryson held himself like.
He got top 16.
Yeah, he
got
did very
fifth.
well.
Yeah.
For a guy who doesn't like do this for like his whole job, so
it was a fun thing to watch.
And honestly, if they like took into account just like they were saying, like if you just took into account like driving it straight and distance, like if you weren't just like trying to get the biggest drives, like he probably wins it pretty easily.
Oh yeah, he's way more consistent.
Yeah.
Maybe, but Kyle Berkshire
wins it.
That man
shout out
is just an animal.
He is an animal.
Just a freak of just a whack fucking machine. Like he can just tattoo those balls.
Yeah.
But so can Bryson. Like Bryson. It was a fun event.
Yeah.
Watch the highlights because it's just a bunch of big dudes hitting the crap out of balls and yelling. Like it's a fun little event. I don't want to call it a sideshow.
Yeah. Well, also new Bond this weekend.
Oh yes.
Debuts on Friday night. I'm excited about that. No Time to Die. Highs and lows.
It's gonna be nice to have my headlight fixed, but it's gonna take a while and be probably tedious. But I am going climbing this weekend. Yeah.
What day you going climbing?
Saturday after we fix the car.
Oh, nice.
How about you, man?
Hi. My parents are coming to town this weekend. I haven't seen them in a bit since Labor Day, so I'm excited to see them. We're going to the game on Sunday. Whole family.
Whole fam
family going to Arrowhead on Sunday, which would be a lot of fun. Yeah, that's basically it. Low. It's just just a busy time for me at work, which is expected. That's the way the fall usually goes. So it's all good though. I've been enjoying seeing people and football season. It always seems to be like, well, you guys want to hang out, watch a game, and I feel like I end up seeing more people because of stuff like that. So I'm excited about that. And yeah, let's order some pizza. I'm starving.
Yeah, man. We didn't order it
Let's get the hell out.
which is a rookie mistake, but deuces.